All right, Dwayne from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, listens on XM satellite radio. Dwayne, how are you, man?
Oh, hanging in there like everybody else.
Okay, well, that doesn't sound too good. Tell us what's happening in your life.
Well, I got divorced 3 years ago, and in the last 3 years, it's been pretty tough. It feels like as good as my ex-wife, life's going, mine's going the opposite direction. My business shut down. She stuck me with all the bills for the house. Of course, the house had to get sold, and like all my friends, just quit talking to me.
Yeah.
And kind of, whose fault it was for the marriage. I played my part too, but she had infidelity on me and stuff. So, but I just a little bit like when this all started, I went to God and confessed, my sins for my part of the marriage. And hey, Lord, what's your will? Should she come back? Should she not? What do you want me to do for my life? It just feels like I said, the more hers goes up, the more mine goes down. I guess she's getting remarried and maybe pregnant or whatever. And
Okay.
like I said, I just everything seems that. Anything that starts a little high for me, it doesn't take long for something that'll knock the wind out of my sails, and I just got no enthusiasm to do anything.
Okay, so what's the question for us? How could we help you?
What should I do to try to get back on my feet or find the Lord again, or why isn't the Lord there for me? I don't know. It's just
All right. Now, do you listen to the show very much?
all the time.
All right. So you know that I went through the same thing that you went through, right?
Not 100% the whole story,
Well,
but
I had an unfaithful spouse and went through that time when, wow, everything's going great for the person that committed this fatal thing. I was so into myself, I couldn't even look at my part for 5 years, I mean, I didn't cause her to have an affair or anything, but I certainly contributed. And so it took a long time. You're 3 years out, and I got to say that I wasn't really I would say well. I wasn't a well person. John and Jill could tell you I was not a well person for a very long time, and so you've got to be patient with yourself. But here's the thing: you're probably right on track with what goes on in these kind of things. But somebody told me something the day after this happened, and it was great advice that I stuck with, and it's really helped me. And I'm going to give it to you. Don't be jealous of your ex-spouse. Refuse to look at that life and say everything's wonderful and happy, because you don't know what's going on. You actually didn't know what was going on in her heart when you were married to her, and you sure don't know what's going on in there afterwards. So to be jealous of something that you're not really aware of, you don't really know the inside track on, would be foolish. Now the big question is, who do you have around you? What men do you have around you to help you get through this time? Because I guarantee you, God is there for you, and you're not going to feel it. But over the hill or around the bend, that's when it's going to be a lot different for you. It may take 2 more years, may take 4 more years, but it'll come.
Yeah, Dwayne, when I was listening to your story, I wasn't thinking the reason that Dwayne is suffering is because his wife's doing well and his not. What I was thinking was Dwayne's alone.
yeah, that's it. That's the big.
Okay.
That's what I should have said. That's it right there.
Then let's solve alone first, because when a person has financial, relational, career, and marital losses, there's nothing you can do to get back on your feet. The idea of a self-made man is an oxymoron. And good psychology and the Bible both teach the same thing, is you've got to be around community. So we need to talk about where the people are that are safe, that are for you, that will listen to you. And there's two things you got to look for in people. The first thing is they've got to be totally unaccepting with no shame and you need no condemnation right now. So you need people who are for you no matter what. They'll give you grace with no condemnation. But you also need people with ideas and wisdom. There's a lot of people out there who have been where you've been. Steve is a great example, and they're okay now. But Steve got connected. He got with people that he could cry with. He could talk about his feelings with. He could talk about his losses with. They comforted him. A lot of those people are around here. But they also had ideas. So that's number 2 for you, is getting those two things.
You need to get into that divorce recovery group at the local church there.
I went to church after this happened. I went to church my whole life, then stopped my earlier 20s and stuff. And I went to church for 2 years, and like I said, I went to church, said, Lord, I'm sorry for my part in my marriage.
Okay, but listen.
And then my business went.
Did you
Okay,
sit on the back
okay,
row
so-
and like leave after
Yeah.
the thing
Dwayne?
was over and get in your
Yes.
car?
Dwayne, it's really hard to see the wicked prospering. And when you're going through a divorce, it feels like, the person who cheated or whatever is, they're the wicked. And so, you're seeing your wife, but you're watching her and you're comparing. If her life tanked, you might feel better in the short run, but long term, that really isn't going to change things for you. You've experienced a major loss. And so it
Yeah.
sounds like you're a bit depressed and
Well, I
you
guess I'm focusing too much on her right now because I try not to. Because she only lives like 15 miles from me.
But also,
and I hear things when I
Yeah.
don't
yeah,
want to.
You
Right.
should stop that, and
Right.
also you should stop thinking that if you feel bad enough and you ask God enough, He's going to save your business and
Oh,
solve
that's
your pain.
already gone.
Right.
My house is gone. I
but-
just don't
but
know. Like I said, I went to church for 2 years.
Dwayne,
Nobody reached out to me.
Dwayne,
Yes.
nobody's going to reach out to you. You've got to go to a divorce recovery group, a Celebrate Recovery, a Life Recovery group. You've got to get in there, and that's when
Where the
people will-
agenda,
Right.
Right,
You got to
is
put yourself
reaching
in
out.
where the
position.
intent, Dwayne, and the agenda and the structure is to help you.
But-
Don't just go to church and hope they notice that you're suffering, because people, have their own lives. Go to these groups, and seriously, the three of us have seen miracles happen
Yeah.
when somebody walk in the door.
Yeah, I had a miracle because I've told this before, but when it first happened, I wanted to kill her. Have you ever had that feeling, Dwayne?
Yeah.
I wanted to kill her, and then as I
Homicidal
healed,
fantasies?
I didn't need to kill her. I just wanted her to die on her own somehow. And then as the healing occurred, I didn't need her to die. I just wanted her to have an illness that would disfigure her, and it just went from there. And
But
then
you got past all that.
and then I would have been happy with she just had a boil once a year or so, and then. I found myself eventually actually praying for her good because she is the mother of our child. So you do heal, but you're going to have to get in a healing process, or guess where you're going to be stuck? You're going to be stuck in, I want to kill her, I wish she was dead, and I hate what she's doing, and you don't want to be stuck there. And she can't
Well, I
help
guess
you. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on here. You guess what?
I said, I guess I'm stuck with the fact that I still miss her.
What did you hear? What John
yeah.
said?
No.
You're alone, and
Yeah.
that's why you miss her, because you don't have anything else. You
To
don't have
replace her.
some buds that can really help you, people that understand you, and you can feel sorry for yourself. In fact, you can even learn how to be helpless in this whole situation, or you can do what we were talking about earlier: get in the car, sit down, go to a meeting, humble yourself. And sit down with some other people that are struggling, and your life will change.
And-
It will change everything.
And inner grief, Dwayne.
Yeah, that's
Grief
right.
is a good thing for you right now.
Not just the anger, see,
Not
but
just
the
the anger.
sadness. Get into there. We'll